All right, Nick, thanks. April is National Financial Literacy Month. It's one of those topics that's so important because money is, well, it's one of life's necessities, and a lot of people struggle with it.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So joining us this morning is author Steve Siebold. He's the author of How Money Works, with some great tips on how we can improve our financial situation. So good morning, Steve. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
All right, so your book talks about how to stay happy financially. I think I would like to be happy financially. I think we'd all like to be happy financially.
Who wouldn't?
So what's a couple of tips?
Well, one is I think that to be obsessed with success as opposed to money. Think about succeeding, think about serving people, that type of thing, as opposed to being obsessed with the money itself. Money's just a byproduct, really, of service. So thinking about it in that way.
Oh, all right.
So what are some simple everyday things that we can do to be financially happy and stable?
Well, if you look at money, it really income comes from solving a problem. Just like you guys are anchors on television, you're solving a problem, you're providing information and all kinds of things for audiences. So look at solving a problem. What are your skill sets? Match up your skill sets with something you can solve a problem. And the bigger problem you solve, the more money you make.
Interesting. And I see here on the screen the other tips: solve a problem, change your thinking, believe in self-reliance, and never stop learning. So, like, I'm sure I make a lot of the big mistakes that you see people making. What are some of the common, easy mistakes to remedy?
Well, in terms of money, I mean, I would take a very conservative approach. I think that it's easy to spend money. We've all spent lots of money, and it's easy to do. I think taking a conservative approach, especially right now, I think with war in Europe, and we've got a lot of crazy things happening. Coronavirus is still on the, still out there, unfortunately. And so I think being conservative overall with your money is probably a pretty good strategy to start with.
And where can people learn more about your book?
Oh, they can get the book at howmoneyworks.com or Amazon or any major bookseller.
When you say, by the way, people can be more conservative with their money, I mean, it's so difficult, it feels, to do at this point because inflation is so high. It seems like more of our money is needed for just our everyday necessities. So how do you go about being more careful with your money when the price on everything's going up?
No, it's true. Inflation obviously is at a 40-year high. It looks like it may even go higher. So definitely looking for deals, clipping coupons, doing all those things that people make fun of. Yet you can actually save a fair amount of money if you're really cognizant about looking for good deals, buying in bulk at places like Costco or Sam's Club, and looking for deals everywhere you go, from groceries to everyday items that you have to purchase.
And I just noticed the subtitle on the front of your book, Steve, Stop Being a Sucker. Before we go, what's one good tip to help me to stop being a sucker?
Well, one thing is look at the returns you're getting at banks. So we always tell people in our classes who run around the country for organizations, rich people don't put their money in banks. Very, very little of their money in banks. Very small percentage because they don't pay any returns. They take your money and they get rich off of very high returns while paying you low returns. So look at the money you have in the bank and get with a financial professional and reallocate some of those funds. That's a good tip to start with.
Oh.
That is a good tip. All right. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Have a good one.
You too.
Marcus?
Abby Eden.